Shemai, well, I think I've chosen the night when I've got the croakiest voice to record 2 videos, which is quite daft of me, but I've been dying to give this new stamp set a try. My nephew is really into his horse riding. He works in the stables, he has his own horse, and when I saw this stamp set, I thought that would be a perfect one to buy. So it's called Let It Ride, and it's in the New Occasions catalogue. And the other, despite putting the post-its in there, I still can't find it. And the other one I'm using is the Crackle Paint one, which is a lovely big background stamp. My other favourite set of framelits from this catalogue are the stitched framelits ones, the rectangle stitch ones. They're hiding on this in this corner, so you've got to look quite carefully for these ones, but they are an absolute godsend. So I've done some of the preparation for it. The background, I've used my aqua painter to add ink to make a bit of a landscape scene. Then I've used a piece of sponge then to add some extra ink. You can see by the state of my fingers what I've been doing to add some extra ink to the background piece here. So let me show you what I've done so far. The card is a card blank, but I'm doing it landscape today, and it's 8 by 6. As I've said before, I buy my cards pre-made from Craft Creations. So what I've done is I've already added the watercolour into the background of my horse, and to make sure that I didn't go on with I was going to be putting the horse, I stamped him first and coloured him in. I stamped him onto post-it, and then I masked him off to protect him then when I painted all the background around. And then I cut him out using the stitch framelit dies. I use these ones together. You've got to be quite careful getting them off the packaging because the double-sided tape they use is quite strong. So make sure you don't pull them off too hard because otherwise you'll bend them. I'm going to put, what I'm going to do now for this piece is to add double-sided tape to the back of the piece and to add it onto the green rectangle shape, making sure that I get him on straight. There he is. He's ready to go. So this piece now is going to be this part of the image. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use Call Me Clover and press it hard in the centre, because what that does then is it transfers some ink, and you're going to use that as your palette. So using a water brush, I'm going to dab some water in. My water brush is a little bit low on water, so I'm going to use my sprayer a second to add some in. Now, obviously, this is just normal Whisper White. It isn't watercolour paper, so you don't want to do it too much. Don't add too much water to it, because otherwise you'll make your paper start to fray. So I'm going to very quickly, as I said, not leaving it on there too long, just add some green across the bottom for the grass. I'm no artist, so this is just a simple job of it. As you can see now, the paper's starting to curl up, but once it dries out, it'll flatten back down again, and once you stick it onto the background card, there's no problem at all. So just with your aqua brush then, just wipe the excess off. Same again now with Balmy Blue. I'm using Balmy Blue for the sky. Press it down, flip it over. I'm going to press down a bit harder. There we go. Again, I'm going to use my spritzer for this. And using your water brush, remember now, don't hold it on there too long. Just go across. It's quite a pale one, this is. I didn't want it to detract from the horse too much. Right. And what I'll do then, once I finish the video, is just go back in and wipe my cases then. So I'm just going to put that aside for a couple of minutes just to dry out. And I'm going to stamp, not stitch, the crackle paint one. And I'm going to use soft suede. Now this is a big background stamp. So I tend to leave the stamp lying upside down. So I can check then that I've added ink to it. Some people put their cardstock on it, but I can never seem to keep it completely straight. So I'm going to stick it onto my card and then just cut off the excess. The other thing which is really handy for this, make sure you press all over, is using your a stamping platform like the Stamper Artist, because then you can make sure you apply even pressure all over. There it is. And then I'm going to use a piece of sponge gently in the soft suede then, and just add it on. If you wanted to miss out this bit, you could always do it on either a piece of very vanilla or a piece of soft suede cardstock. There we go. Put that to one side now. Now I'm going to bring my trimmer in as they all collapse in the background and just trim this down. I love these background stamps. I've seen a really nice one as well where somebody has heat embossed it, which has been really effective. So I'm going to then mount that onto the Call Me Clover cardstock. There we are, just giving it a little smidgen of a border around it. And cut that down then. I just need to take another little tiny bit, I think, of this edge, because there we go. I'm going to attach that to the card ready, because knowing me, I'll put it somewhere safe and I'll have lost it by the end of the video. Tape runners make it so much easier. You're not trying to peel off the backing for double-sided tape when you're not in the mess that you are with sometimes with wet glue. So I'm going to bring in now my watercolour piece. I'm just going to bend it. It's still a little bit damp. That's no problem. And I'm going to use Tranquil Tide. And I'm going to use the little trees from the set. But because Tranquil Tide is quite dark, I'm going to stamp off and stamp on. Stamp off. Stamp on, stamp off. There we go. Ink it up, stamp it off. And again, even despite the fact that there's going to be something covering this, I just do it all in one go. Then my sentiment is, take life by the reins. I'm going to stamp that down in the corner. There it is. As you can see, it's an easy card. It comes together really quickly. I'm going to mount that now onto the backing card, and it'll keep it then, it'll straighten it back up again. This piece here is 5 inches by 5 inches, and then I think the backing piece is 5 1/4 by 5 1/4. I'm just going to attach that now to the prepared card. There we go. What I'm going to do now, I'm just going to add a little bit of extra detail to him. I'm using dark soft suede and light soft suede. Just going to use some of the dark soft suede now. Now, if I was an artist, I'd be able to tell you where the light was coming from and where we should have the shade. But I'm just going to add it where I think it should be. I'm going to have to get some lessons off my brother-in-law, who's an incredible artist. There he is. Just going to add some around his mane here. I've already applied the sticky dots to the back. I'm just going to peel those off, and I'm going to mount it then towards the right hand side of the watercoloured piece. Water brushes or aqua painters make watercolouring so much easier, and Stampin' Up ink pads then make a perfect palette. There we are. I'm just going to stick him then, just line him up nicely, and there it is. As you would say in Welsh, wedi gorffen, all finished. So we have used Let It Ride, some lovely images there, and I love the sentiments. Live as if someone left the gate open. Take life by the reins. We've used crackle paint. We've used the rectangle stitch framelit dies, and remember it is celebration at the moment, so spend £45 before your shipping costs and you get to choose a free item from the fantastic celebration catalogue as well. And I think that's me done. So you have been watching Nikki of Nikki Knacks Paper Crafts. Thank you ever so much for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed yet but you'd like to see what else I'm getting up to, please hit the subscribe button below, hit the little bell on the right hand side, and then that'll notify you of any new videos. Thank you ever so much for watching. Hwyl fawr and take care.